Hello everyone, welcome to this video on Instachord. I'm basically just going to be going through how to use Instachord. It's not too difficult at all really, it's quite a simple plugin when you get used to how it works. I'm going to cover everything which I've found in my time using Instachord. I've just created this kind of drum rack and Omnisphere. On the Omnisphere we've just got a blank Pianet T, which sounds like that, and then the drum rack we've just got this. So just really a template, you can turn that metronome on. So this is what a blank instance of Instachord looks like. The kind of first thing you'll want to do once you've purchased it is go up here, go to the About section. Once you've clicked on that, around this sort of area here, I don't know if it's here or if it's here, it will ask you to input your serial key. I'm not going to click on it, so yeah, you guys won't find out what my serial key is, but it'll tell you to activate it there, and once you've done that, you'll then that'll put you onto the actual version rather than the trial version. The first thing that you want to do once you've created your instance of Instachord, I'm just going to put it in front there because I like to have it there. What you're wanting to do is go to Midi from on your Omnisphere or whatever kind of keyboard sound or whatever you're going for, and you want to look for where it says all ins and replace that with Instachord. And just because, I don't know, whatever, I always just do the post effects one to Instachord 2. I don't know if that actually does anything. Then you want to hit in where it says monitor and hold control and then click the arm button. That'll essentially mean that it'll only take MIDI information coming out of Instachord and it'll force it to be played. So if I quickly just give a quick demo, it then plays it. So the way that you use Instachord is you select which note you want for your root note. So in this case we're going to have an E, and then you select which type of chord. We're going to go for, I think, probably major ninths just for this. There's a slight difference between this bar here and then this bar here. Basically this is bound to the bottom C, and then the next one up is bound to the black note, and then this one again would be the D key. So you have to kind of make sure that you're putting it on the right key. So I like to just plainly use white keys for this, just because it's less hassle than using black keys as well, but you are welcome to. So yeah, you select the note, you select which type of chord you want, well, the root note, which type of chord you're after. That's kind of how it goes. I'm not sure how this is going to sound, if I'm being honest. However, I'm just kind of explaining how it works so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so now that you've got those chords set up, you can alter the voicing to make it sound more guitar-y, or if you want it kind of inversions. So that's just kind of where the main chunk of the velocity is, and it sounds pretty good, especially if you're using the guitar-y ones. Yeah, so to interact with these you just left click and it's pretty much there. If you want to change the octave you can do that here and up here. This one only goes down to and up to. You can also transpose freely, and that'll just cycle through the actual notes. Okay, so now that we've got our notes in here, we can select them by using these bottom 4 white notes here, which are bound to my MIDI controller. So as you can see, if I press the C key, it opens the first one, D key will open the F chord, E key will open the D chord, and G key will open the G chord. No sound is coming out because we've not selected a action. So actions are bound to the 3rd octave on your keyboard. So this essentially means that you're playing almost with 2 hands, but not really. So you select which chord you want to be played and then how you want it to be played. So you have all sorts of options in here, different types of strums. You can control if the octaves are going up and down or if you're transposing it, which is also very nice. And you can also do single notes, which is amazing for writing kind of moving keys. It's beautiful for that. You can get it so it hits all of the notes, or only some of them. So the strums are, I'll just demonstrate with this one here. It's a bit too quick, I'll go for a slower one. They're quite fast, but it works nicely. So that's how a strum would work. So it's quite self-explanatory, and then you can do it for however many notes you're after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the strum down slow, and I'm going to go up to 5. Sorry, very slow, and up to 5. So that means I can get some kind of variation just in that. On this further right one, I'm going to do some single notes, so the bottom one being the bass note, and first note, and then I'm just going to fill this in. Okay, now that I have that filled in, that'll essentially mean that I can then play whichever note corresponds just directly out of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to C1, because that is kind of where my octave begins. C1 is this and correlates to that, so I'm going to hit C1. I'm just going to make this 8 long. So what I'm doing here is essentially making it so that it will automatically change which kind of chord is selected, which means that I then don't have to worry about doing that, and I can just worry about playing whatever. So now that we've got this, and we've got it playing, this means that if I'll start recording on here, and then play those notes, I'm probably going to just alternate between this one and that one for like each run. But I'm just going to record onto this track, not using this one, because if you use this one it'll overwrite what's here, but in this view, so it's not really what you want, because it will then start playing sound on other plugins. It just, don't do it, just trust me on that. So yeah, I'm just going to start recording. Alright, so now that we have our clip recorded, just simply doing that, I'm just going to kind of snap everything slightly better aligned. I like that. I didn't actually like that end one, so I'm just going to remove it, which is not an issue at all. Yeah, so now we've got our chords recorded. I'm going to create another instance of a different plugin. I think I'm going to go for some bells in Massive. Alright, so I have found some bells which I am a fan of. I'm now going to turn this one back to how it was by just going like that, putting it back onto the all-ins and putting it back onto auto on the monitor. Gonna arm this one, hit in there, again binding it to Instachord, and now I'm just using the top octave as we configured here, this one being the top octave, in order to play our bells. Now it's too low, so I'm going to just boost it. Alright, nice. So we've now got it in the correct octave for what we're after. I'm now just going to hit record and record a little tune. Right, so we have that. That was horribly out of time. However, I've not made much music today and I'm quite tired, so I believe that is justifiable as an excuse. So yeah, it's quite simple to just easily, quickly make a chord progression and a lead. Again, you can just make bass with it as well, just by doing the same thing and dropping the octave down. So that's pretty much how it works. There's a few extra little things, like if I just quickly show you up here, hold mode, you can set that to fret. Then fret mode essentially means that you have to hold down which chord you're willing to press, and then how you want to play it must be pressed while it's held. Then you've also got the Midi process and pass mode. This essentially turns it from being a functioning plugin to a plugin which doesn't do anything but just has an overlay. And then this C1 button up here essentially says where your root C key is, so where this key is on your Midi controller. Up here you've got this picks and chords sections where you can select which octaves it uses kind of within Ableton. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please subscribe, like the video, head over to my SoundCloud, listen to some tunes that I've made there. Some of them are decent, some of them aren't, but you know, it's what it is. Just head over, have a look. I've got a website as well, head over there. On Saturday this week I'm going to be streaming, just like beat making essentially, for 12 hours. It'll start at 10 GMT and end at 10 GMT at night though, so like 22. This can be pretty painful, but if anyone wanted to show up, that'd be pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, or discovered a new plugin which you might be interested in. Have a good day. See you in a bit.